Some Mario Maker levels seem impossible. Hidden blocks, passwords, and suspiciously difficult tricks can make you wonder if the creator wanted it to be possible. But sometimes, despite questionable design choices, these levels make interesting puzzles. This is one such level. In this video, I want to walk you through a level with many questionable design choices. I followed a simple process to make it manageable, figure out what I know, and use that to narrow down possible solutions. At the end of the day, it was a lot of fun, despite the fact that a lot of the time I was just looking for hidden blocks. Like a lot of levels, I started at the end and worked backwards. So let's start there. The more info page always shows the goal. As we can see, the only way to get there is through a pipe. This means the final step has to be in the subworld. So the first thing to try is find out how to get to the subworld. After a couple of dead ends, I figured out that in this level, there are two subworld sections, which I will be calling A and B. Of course, the pipes that lead to these subworlds were trickier to get to than the dead ends. But anyway, into subworld A. In subworld A, we find some sniper thwomps, hidden blocks pokies, and some on-off traps that ultimately lead to a key door. Took a bit longer to get through this subworld section than the other one, mostly because I had to wait for these pokies. It had to be a good time for me to jump in there, and then with 2 rows of hidden blocks, I could get through them by killing them. And though I'm not showing it in this video, there's hidden blocks pretty much everywhere, every pit, trying to knock you into every pit. It took me a few tries, but eventually I figured out how to get through this on-off switch section. There are 2 hidden thwomps that hit on-off switches up above, and you jump about 7 blocks in, and then trigger the second one so that the red blocks underneath you can turn back on. Eventually, with some luck, I found a POW in a hidden block. Next step was for me to make sure that I could kill everything in the level to see if this POW was going to be useful for anything. I started with the thwomps. Some of them I didn't need to use the POW to kill. Some I had to backtrack through the level. Some I had to get a fresh POW in between attempts. Eventually I did find a key though, which I used on the key door and just found that I needed another one. But after extensive searching, I didn't find anything. I later discovered that you could obtain this key by using a triple jump and could save the POW. This allowed me to go through the key door and use this POW to avoid the survival section by dropping it and ducking behind it. I did die many times here before I learned this trick. The way this room works is you've got lots of fireballs flying at you while you wait for these munchers to slowly, row by row, kill all of these piranha plants. I also did check the tracks for hidden blocks, but didn't find anything in this room. When I reached the end of the room, I found out I just needed another key. So, onto Subworld B. Subworld B was a bit more chaotic. The tracks are suspicious, which led to my discovery of a hidden POW, which I also used on everything to finally find a key. But I couldn't get out. Now, before I do a recap, I wanted to cover a few more tidbits of information I found out along the way. The first of which is you can get this fire flower. While I'm not 100% sure if this was intentional, you were able to do it if you either sacrificed a POW or if you carried the P-switch from the main world over here. This allowed 2 things. One, you could go through this door and not die. This allowed us to go from Subworld A to Subworld B. And we were able to get 2 keys and a mushroom at the same time. But the problem of being unable to escape remained. We could also use this in the survival section, allowing us to either have a mushroom or a fire flower in the next section. At this point, we had a lot of information. We know the subworlds, 3 one-way paths to navigate the subworlds. We can go into A but not back, into B and not back, and we can go from A to B but not the other way around. We've got 2 keys. We know we need 2 keys. There's 2 POWs, one of which we can save. Nothing good in the main world as far as we can tell. And we also know that we can get the fire flower, potentially unintended by the creator. What does this tell us? There are 3 possible solutions. 1, there's a key in the main world, though I tried killing everything and jumping everywhere I could think of. 2, there's a second key in subworld A, but like with the main world, I jumped everywhere and tried killing everything. Or 3, there's a path out of subworld B. I ruled out that the door could be used to go from B to A using co-op. By confirming that there was no block underneath the door, that door cannot be entered from this side. So, what was the solution? Well, I jumped a whole lot until I finally found a hidden bomb. Then I knew I had it. So now we have a plan. Get the key, escape subworld B. Get the key in subworld A, navigate through the survival section, and then we pick a path. I knew I could solve this by repeating this up to 36 times, guessing each pipe, but because I knew I could get the fire flower, I could test every top path. And then I finally made it to the goal, but realized that a painful step was still missing. I needed the clear condition 1-up. At this point, I knew what I needed, and I knew how I'd have to find it. Unfortunately, as was the case in finding the bomb, it had to be in the hidden block. I hadn't actually jumped everywhere. So time for more jumping. I jumped, and I jumped, and I jumped, and I jumped. Eventually, my jumping paid off. Then I ran through the level one last time and finished the level for real. I'm really not sure what the creator had in mind. Many questions remained. Was the fire flower cheese? Did I go the right way? Was the P-switch supposed to be used for something else? Was ducking behind the POW cheese? Was I supposed to triple jump? Whatever that level was, I had fun, even if perhaps in spite of the level rather than because of it. So thanks.
yeah.